about this? You know, well, you know, it's just typical asshole to do something like that. You know, like if you're not an asshole, you can maybe try and use reason and you know, rationalism to prove you're not an asshole. But no, he immediately you know, basically wants to fight about it. On top of that, you know, he tells me to take a shot at him. Well, you know, I'm basically pretty non-violent. I said, no, if you want to fight, you start it, buddy. You know? And of course, he doesn't. So I don't know who's the lame one, but I'm pretty sure, you know, that I think I'm pretty well standing on solid ground, and he's sinking deeper and deeper into his own shit. So anyhow, we'll just continue to circulate. He said he's coming back, so who knows? He might have another chat on his way back. And this is the interesting thing that I was trying to get to before this guy interrupted things somewhat. When it comes to negative reactions, when it is possible for me to confront the people who have negative reactions and say, hey, wait a minute, you know, these are the facts. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them change their minds. In other words, some of the negative responses are based in sheer ignorance, like this guy, for instance. And some of them, once you say, no, wait a minute, you know, this is what the protest is about. You know, this is why I'm protesting, and you know, it's got to do with clergy abuse and anti-religious intolerance and bigotry and covering up child sex abuse and this and that. You know, all of a sudden they come around and oh well, yeah, actually, you know, you got a point, you know. So even in terms of the negative reactions, some of those people change their minds when I have the opportunity to explain the issues. Who knows, you know, like maybe this guy will come back and maybe we'll have a little discussion and I'll explain things to him and he'll realize, oh gee, I guess I was kind of an asshole, you know, I maybe shouldn't have been so dismissive of the protest, because he did say literally nobody cares, which is bullshit, because people do care. You know, I just, prior to this guy coming by, I had a long conversation with a Maronite Christian. The guy obviously cared, and so do many other people. So basically, when the guy says nobody cares, he's being an asshole. I love that word. It's like really does a pretty good description of that type of person. So anyhow, where are we here? Oh, 20 minutes and 26 seconds. So we got another 9 so minutes left on this segment of video. So we'll continue along here, and we'll go for at least another 9 or so minutes. But I think I may wrap this up after about an hour of protesting. It's been a pretty good, oh, look who's here. Yes, wallow in the ignorance, wallow in the psychological denial, be my guest. It's your church that's hiding child sex abuse with blasphemy law. Hope you're enjoying that. So this girl has been coming to the Unitarian Church of Montreal for quite some time, and a little while ago she got into a kind of a basically dismissive attitude. So I enlightened her a little bit, but of course she's still wallowing in ignorance. And few people arriving now-ish, which is well after the Cedar dinner was supposed to have started. I mean, you know, they say 5:30, maybe it doesn't really start until 6, but I'm pretty sure it's after 6 now. I'm guessing it's around 6:30-ish, maybe 6:15, 6:30. Let's see what my time device says. Oh, 6:03, so it's not quite as late as I thought. Oh, here he comes.
You have such big crowds of people supporting you.
You'd be
You're
surprised.
all by yourself. Where are they then? You look like a fool.
You're gonna look like a fool on YouTube, asshole. I know you're laughing. You won't be laughing so much when you see yourself on YouTube. So he's saying, where are my supporters? You know? Well, first of all, I've had some people offer to protest with me, and I've made it clear to them that I prefer, for various reasons, to protest alone. One of the reasons is because there's assholes like that, and where I can control my own responses to assholes like that, I'm not sure how other people would respond. You know, like some of the people who've offered to protest with me when insulted by an asshole and challenged to a fight might actually get into a fight, and I don't want that to happen, you know. So I basically know my limits. I know, you know, that I can control myself quite well when some asshole's challenging me to a fight or something. But I you know, I've got a bit more self-control than some of the other people I know, including that asshole. So, you know, I just feel that it's better, for various reasons, to protest alone. The only circumstance where I'd actually want to protest other than alone is with a significant number of other protesters, and that's always a possibility. You know, like maybe 10 or 15 or so. You know, if I set my mind to it, I could probably find, you know, that many people to protest with me. But, you know, I'm just so used to doing it alone, and it goes very well in most cases when I'm doing it alone, that, you know, why make it bigger than necessary? Why drag other people into it when it's not necessary? You know, there may come a day where I think it's actually a good idea to have 15 or 20 or even more people protesting out of the church, but so far I just haven't seen the need for it. And you know, what this guy says is like, where are your supporters? You know, it really doesn't matter how many supporters you have when you're right about something. You know, when you've got the truth on your side, you can be one person, and that's all you really need. And anyway, as I was saying, you know, in terms of people who see this protest and who react to it, well, at least 8 out of 10, if not 9 out of 10 responses are positive and supportive. Now, they may not stand here and picket with me, but they're supportive, you know, and I don't need them to stand with me and protest to know that they're supportive. And as far as online stuff goes, I've certainly got quite a bit of response online. You know, there are people who retweet my tweets about Unitarian Universalist misuse of blasphemy law to hide pedophilia and rape and other Unitarian Universalist problems. Might have even got a few retweets today. So you know, the support is there, and like anyone who bothers to look at the actual issues can just figure out that, you know, only a moron wouldn't be supportive. You know, only an idiot like this guy, you know, would not support a protest against, you know, clergy sexual abuse of children and cover up and denial thereof, to say nothing of some of the other issues, you know. But that's a serious issue. You know, sexual abuse of children, by Unitarian Universalist ministers and Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers and so on. That's a serious issue, and so is trying to hide it by falsely accusing me of blasphemous libel or intimidating other people into silence or just brazenly lying about it in so-called apologies. You know, these are serious injustices and abuses and outrageous hypocrisy, and you know, most people who bother to look at the facts can see that right away. You know, so this guy is just one of these idiots who thinks that it's wrong to protest in front of a church, is what it comes down to. There's a certain small segment of the population who thinks it's, you know, you shouldn't really protest in front of a church, you know, it's just not the thing to do. Well, if I remember correctly, Jesus protested in front of the temple, and a few days later he was executed. So, you know, I have a feeling, that there's a connection between. Thanks. Feel free to put that on YouTube or Twitter or whatever. It's always a good day when you're accused of blasphemy by atheists. So there we got a little bit of support from some people across the street. They were taking photos or videos or both. And yeah. In any case, we've already had, thinking like just in terms of tonight's protest, I think there's been, well, one definite asshole, negative response, one other guy who seemed to be giving a negative response, but then there's been rock bottom minimum 2 positives. So right now we're at least even, Steven. Well, I gotta, right, if I remember correctly, I do believe I think there was another, so yeah, like right now it's pretty even. You know, there's lots of protests that I do where I don't get one single negative response, but I get, you know, several positive ones. It's actually